I'm Wes Anderson. I made the Grand Budapest Hotel. You think I can't your wife?
Science fiction, double feature, Dr. X will build a creature, see androids fighting, Brad and Janet, and Francis stars and Forbidden Planet, and the late night double feature, Pixar show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our new Cool Kids Saturation-A-Thon double feature review, where we will review two films. We're going to be reviewing Pixar's Elemental and Wes Anderson's newest film, Asteroid City. First of all, I want to give a big shout out to John, aka the Geek Informant, for making that awesome intro. Go check him out; he's an awesome guy. And also, you noticed that we have a new guest on the show. This is my brother, Ben. And this guy is the biggest Wes Anderson fan I know. And I felt like it was very appropriate because I wanted to have him on for the show, and I figured that talking about a Wes Anderson film, that would be perfect for him since he is the biggest fan I know. But before we even get to that one, we're going to start with Pixar's Elemental, which originally it wasn't going to be planned, but because some of these guys really wanted to talk about it, I said, you know what, fuck it, a Cool Kids double feature it is. All right, so yeah, we're going to start by talking about Pixar's newest film, Elemental. And I'll go first, and then you know the whole routine. All right, let me pull up my review. Without further ado, let's get started. Now, I remember once upon a time where Pixar would, for the most part, make hit after hit with their films. Unfortunately, after Toy Story 3, there seems to be kind of lacking with their films. Not saying they're all bad. I'm not saying that at all. In fact, there's been some great films like Coco, Inside Out, Soul, and I don't care what this guy says, but I enjoy Turning Red. Sue me. Hey, Zach, did you forget something?
I want you to remember something. While your parents are away, I am in charge here.
Okay. All right. But anyway, let me get back to my review. Okay. Where was I? Okay. However, they also have been giving us kind of like underwhelming films lately, like Good Dinosaur, Lightyear, and Luca. And unfortunately, that trend still kind of follows with Elemental. I mean, it's not a bad film, but I wouldn't say that this was a comeback for Pixar. And yes, like most Pixar films, the animation is gorgeous. The colors, the lighting, the movement of the characters, as well as their designs. I love how they're trying to mix, do all the unique, cool things with all the water effects and all. It just looks amazing. And I also love how creative this world looks. Where you see a city that's completely populated by four different elements that exist, fire, water, air, and earth, and insert your Last Airbender joke here. Unfortunately, while the animation is an A+, the writing does seem kind of lacking. This has been an issue I've had with Pixar for a while, to where they seem to more focus on animation, creativity, and world building, but needs some work on the writing. The story is pretty predictable. It's kind of the same story you've seen multiple times about forbidden lovers and choosing your own destiny. You know exactly where the story is going, and you can easily tell what's going to happen. Characters, for me, I just found to be walking tropes. There's the dad who has a bias toward certain people and learns to become accepting by the end. There's the misunderstanding. There's him deciding the child's future. These characters really just don't stand out. Even the two main leads, they're not bad, but they're just they don't stand out. They're just kind of generic lovers, and you see where this goes. But overall, this film's not bad. I will certainly take it over Lightyear, but it's not really anything special. If you have kids and you want to take them to see it, they'll more than likely enjoy it. However, for me, while I will say there are certainly worse Pixar movies out there, I'll say stick with Coco or Inside Out. And my rating is a 6 out of 10. All right. Now I will pass it off to our new guest, Ben.
Hi. Well, I will say that the animation is nice and it is beautiful to look at from a perspective. You know where the story is going to go. You know what the moral is going to be. And you know who's going to come back. So from my perspective, I'd give it a 5 out of 10.
All right. Straight to the point. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. Short and sweet.
Yep. All right. All right, Devin, your turn.
So it sucks to say the Pixar slump has returned. Like this decade alone, while we did get some great movies like Soul, or even good movies like Turning Red, a lot of their output this decade has been pretty underwhelming. You know, such as Onward, Luca, or Lightyear. I had some hopes for Elemental because the trailers looked neat. And I saw this with my family on Father's Day, and what did I think? Did this bring Pixar out of its slump? Unfortunately, no. It's not a bad movie by any means. I'll definitely say it's better than Lightyear or Luca, but it's not as great as Soul. And this is typical because we're talking about Pixar here. The animation is beautiful as always. I loved how the elemental world looked and its inhabitants. The textures on the fire people looked so cool. They were so cool to look at. There's a lot of cool utilizations of their abilities, such as when Ember is getting angry, or Wade's water powers. And I'm a sucker for puns and like a dad joke, so I found myself laughing at most of these. The score is nice, and there's a song that plays like during like the love montage and the end credits that's called "Steal the Show." And ever since the movie came out, I was like listening to the song a lot. Like, this is a catchy fucking song. So good job on that. But when it comes to the stuff I didn't like, and I just hear thunder. The story is very uninteresting and basic. It hits all the tropes, from rom-coms we've seen over 1,000,000 times. Forbidden romance, father who disapproves of the love interest. The love interest who's thought to be dead ends up coming back after a disaster, and they live happily ever after. I mean, come on. How many times have we seen this? How many times have we seen this moral? Like, Pixar has done this moral a hell of a lot better before. Disney's done it, so this really isn't anything new. And the love story itself is pretty shallow and rushed and flat. I mean, I thought Wade and Ember were likable, but I didn't really care for their romance. There was no build to it. It was just there because it needs to be. And the characters themselves aren't anything to write home about either. I mean, sure, Wade and Ember are likable, but they're not like some of like Pixar's like top tier characters. Like they're not Mike and Sully. They're not Woody and Buzz, or the Parr family, or Wally and Eve. Like they're fine, but again, they aren't anything memorable, especially when you compare it to Pixar's like iconic roster of characters. My review is short, but in conclusion, I thought Elemental was cute, but an overall meh film that doesn't live up to Pixar standards. It's not terrible by any means, but I expected better. And the reason why I'm going in with some tough love on this movie is because it's Pixar. These are the guys. This is the studio that gave us like The Incredibles, the Toy Story movies, Finding Nemo, WALL-E, Coco, Inside Out, and I hope soon they get out of this slump, because we need another classic, because we haven't seen that for a while, not since Soul. But I'd say it's a shame it's bombing, but I'd say just wait for this movie to come out on Disney Plus. I'd give it a 6 out of 10.
Zach, are you ready to go?
Provided my Wi-Fi is good, I will power through it.
Okay. Yeah. You kept like cutting it, like leaving the stream, coming back in, and just like that. So I mean, it's okay. So
Actually, let Mark go first. I gotta try and reboot my phone and see if I can get my unlimited data going.
okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, because he keeps going out every other second.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Just let us know when you're ready. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mark, are you ready?
I am.
Okay.
I didn't expect much from this film, but while I can't quite say it's a masterpiece, I can say it's a very nice little surprise. It suffers from many issues that plague other recent Pixar films. The plot is somewhat uninspired and predictable. The humor doesn't always land, and the characterization can be a little one-dimensional. Nevertheless, I found that the film has real strengths that prevented it from being as mediocre as, say, Lightyear. Most importantly, the romance between Ember and Wade gives the film real heart. They have solid chemistry, and their relationship develops nicely, with some truly tender moments in spite of the somewhat interesting plot going on around them. The connection between them feels genuine, as do the reasons keeping them apart, making the payoff all the more sweet. Yes, we've seen the forbidden love trope before, think Romeo and Juliet or West Side Story, but it's done well here and works on multiple levels. One of those levels coincides with the larger theme of the film as an allegory of the American immigrant experience, almost like a symbolic version of the aforementioned West Side Story. Ember's parents, Bernie and Cinder, migrate to Element City and build new lives for themselves as small business owners despite facing xenophobia and discrimination. More follow in their wake, and soon the lower-class fire town arises in the midst of a city dominated by the privileged upper-class water people. The fire people resent the water people for their bigotry, and the water people consider the lower-class fire people dangerous and the wrong sort. First-generation fire immigrants seek to preserve their traditions in a strange land, while the kids feel torn between the old and the new. If this sounds familiar, congratulations, because it means you probably paid attention in American history class. All of this perfectly parallels the immigrant experience in America ever since colonial days. They even nailed the thick accent of the first-generation immigrants and the lack of one in the second. This context lends deeper meaning to the film. Cultural differences pose a significant obstacle to the budding romance between Ember and Wade. Bernie's experiences with discrimination have hardened his feelings toward waterfolk, making him suspicious and mistrustful of Wade. Bernie dreams of preserving their sacred blue flame and passing the shop to his daughter, while Ember feels torn between her familial duties to her father and her secret desire for something or someone, in this case new, but also something. Because of this, the film not only works as a beautiful romance, but as a very touching father-daughter story as well. One particularly moving moment at the end brought a tear to my eye. Okay, maybe two moments. Finally, they pretty much nail the technical aspects of the film. The animation is superb. Some moments took my breath away, looking almost photorealistic at times, especially the stunning water effects. The film brilliantly uses color and shading to distinguish between the lower class fire town and the wealthier section where the water people live. The music is solid, if not spectacular. In spite of a few overused gags, the humor actually isn't bad for the most part, and has a few good laughs worth a chuckle or two. The kids will love it at least. At the end of the day, despite its flaws, this film works, often very well in various ways. Despite a few misses, most of the humor is pretty good, so it works well as a kids' movie. The romance is sweet and sincere, so it works as a date movie. The film could be seen as an extended metaphor for the immigrant experience, so it works as a historical film, or as a quasi-historical film. The relationship between Ember and her father makes this a beautiful Father's Day film. If you cannot connect with the film on any of those levels, you can at least enjoy some stunning animation. As for me, the more I think about it, the more I enjoy it. I cannot wait to share this with my daughter. So my rating is a very strong 7.5 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10. That is all.
All right. Are you ready, Zach?
Yep, I hope so. So, contrary to everyone else, I actually think Pixar did make another classic. I loved Elemental. I think it is the best Pixar film I have seen since Toy Story 4. Not better than Toy Story 4 or even Inside Out, but the best one I have seen since then. As far as Pixar's recent slew of movies, I liked Onward. It was okay. I liked Soul a lot, just not as strongly as everyone did. Luca was cute. Lightyear was fine, except for the villain twist, and I hated turning red. So, what did I expect out of Elemental? Not much, honestly, given the first teaser trailer, but then when I found out that the concept was a romantic comedy, that's what Pixar was going to go for, I got really excited. I mean, call me a sap, but I like a good romance. I mean, what's my favorite movie? I mean, hello. But honestly, I didn't mind that the story and overall narrative was predictable, because I figure so long as I can truly get into the characters and care about them, then be as predictable as you want. So long as I care about son of a bitch. All right.
Zach?
Fucking
So as long as you care about the characters.
yeah. So as long as I care about the characters, I do not mind that the story is predictable. And the animation, like everyone said, stunning. Again, best I've seen since Toy Story 4, and probably some of the most unique animation I have seen from Pixar in a All right. Like I said, I would have loved to have seen this on the big screen, but certain personal issues got in the way. So, just to keep it brief, this is the best Pixar film, again, I have seen since Toy Story 4. I loved the characters. I loved the concept, by the way, the whole idea of elements, opposites reacting, and making that an idea for invoking themes about xenophobia and discrimination, I thought was a clever, unique concept that I thought was executed very well. It's not the best Pixar film I've ever seen. In fact, I'd even say this is probably number 6 under Inside Out and all 4 Toy Story movies, but nevertheless, I loved it, and it is currently my favorite film of 2023 so far. And that is why I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10.
Wow.
I didn't like
Wow.
that. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think it's a pretty good film, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like.
So were there like moments that stuck out with you guys or something?
Well, I mean, like I agree, like the plot with the whole the flood thing.
Yeah.
That seemed like just a kind of a cheap way to get them together. because the main plot really seemed to be to revolve around her being torn between, her father.
Yeah.
And, because I had to go back and think about that. And I thought, well, really, that was the main plot. Really, this was more like a subplot with the whole flood thing. Because, that was just kind of, boring. Yeah, I agree. But, it was, like I said, the relationship between her and her father, that really stuck out. And I thought the romance was well done.
Yeah.
I thought they had really good chemistry. So.
I just wish there was a lot more build up to it, and we got to at least know the characters a little better.
Yeah.
And and the relationship would have been a lot more developed.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for too.
I'll even say this is another world Pixar has created that I actually want to see more out of. Like, I haven't seen that. I haven't felt like Pixar has given that, at least to me, in a while. Because even though I'm more positive on Lightyear than most people, I don't really want to see another sequel out of that. Nor any of the other ones, really. Not even like Onward. But with Elemental.
With Elemental?
Yeah, with Elemental, there's with the world they created, and it's like Zootopia, there's so much potential to expand this world and its characters. There's so much you can do. And again, that's why I'm excited for Zootopia too.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking that too. The fact that the world, like I said in my review, it's like the world building was great, and I would have loved to see more of this this world and how creative it is. I would love to see more of it. Like what you said, it's kind of like Zootopia in a way.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a movie where I really don't have too much to say.
Yeah.
Again, it's not a bad movie by any means.
No.
It's Pixar. I expect better than generic.
What would you guys say was your favorite Pixar films? Mine's this easily.
Wait, what?
Favorite Pixar film?
No, what did you say your favorite was?
Inside Out.
Oh yeah, of course. Still Finding Nemo.
Probably The Incredibles.
And
that yours is I know what yours is, Zach.
Yep. Just Toy Story 4, but just the whole Toy Story franchise in general. All four of them are my top 4 Pixar films. Inside Out being number 5, just to round out a top 5.
What about you, Ben?
For me, yeah, I'd have to really think about that. Maybe it would be a toss-up between Inside Out.
What? Ben, your audio was cutting in and out a little bit.
And
Ben, can you repeat that again? All I kept hearing was That's all I kept hearing.
Inside Out and Up.
Okay. That's a good one.
It would probably be a toss-up between those two. I'd have to think about that.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, I think my other ones besides The Incredibles, Inside Out, and WALL-E.
I haven't seen all of WALL-E.
Oh, Toy Story love.
Yeah, I think if I were to pick another one, let's see, because it's honestly kind of hard. Toy Story 2, Finding Nemo, Incredibles, Coco. Coco is great.
Yes. No music. Though that makes me wonder since that family banned music at their wedding, did they do a first dance? Like, did they just dance to like complete silence? All right, and now the new couple will have their first dance.
I've just now noticed this. Do you think who the real villain in Coco is? Have you noticed who the real villain in Coco is?
That's Ernesto de la Cruz, right?
No, it's the grandmother. Because if she didn't break Miguel's guitar, then Miguel didn't run off and risk his life.
Right.
I got it.
I mean, at least she was a more likable grandmother than the one in Encanto.
Oh yeah.
That grandma sucked. I hated her.
Oh yeah.
But at least she saw like the error of her ways at the end.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, but shit. What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. But it really is a shame, though, that this movie is bombing. Like, really.
It is.
I mean, it is kind of sad. It is kind of sad because the thing is that even though I don't love this movie, even though I think it's just okay, I honestly would have been okay if it was a box office success. I'd be like, oh, I probably wouldn't have a problem. It's just really a shame, though. To me, I guess it's just kind of a shame that it's like Pixar. It seems like the last box office success that Pixar's ever gotten was Toy Story 4. So that was the last big success because everything else was either a bomb or was put on Disney Plus because of the pandemic.
Yeah. So hell,
because I want Pixar to succeed. I want Pixar to succeed. I want them to keep trying. I would hate for them to like just keep making failures and then them shutting down their company. I would hate for that to happen. Because I've been growing up watching Pixar films since I was 6 years old when my dad took me to see the very first Toy Story in theaters.
Yep. And if anything,
I think the first Pixar movie I saw in theaters was Finding Nemo.
Toy Story 4, ironically.
Oh, that was the first one you saw in theaters?
Wow.
Pretty much, yeah.
What about you, Ben? What's the first one you remember?
Probably Toy Story 2.
Okay.
I remember Andrew took us to see that.
Yeah, like our older brother, he took us like he was going on a date and he wanted us to come along because it was a movie we'd love to see. Mark, what about you?
What?
First Pixar movie you remember seeing in theaters?
Probably the first Toy Story shit. I don't remember that. Damn, that's awfully far back.
Yeah.
That's damn near 30 years back.
It is. That was the first.
Do you remember like the first one you took you took the kids to see?
Oh God, jeez. Could not tell you. Off the hand, I just could not tell you. It's been, God, it's been so long, man. Jeez,
so long.
Yeah,
it has been 30 years. So
yeah.
I totally get it.
Yeah,
like I said,
when did Inside Out come out?
2015.
I know we definitely went to see that. We definitely went to see that, and that was really good. I can't remember the first though. God, I can't remember what would have came out back then, early 2000s or so.
The early 2000s, that would have been like Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo, Incredibles.
Monsters Inc. We definitely went to see. Well, we definitely had that one. Dear God, we watched that all the time. Kaylee loved that one. Let me see. I know I went to see Monsters University. Actually, I thought that was pretty good. I like that one.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Yeah,
Finale in the human world. I think that whole section of the movie is great.
Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. I like it. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
And you know what though? If it
well,
means, oh shit.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to say,
No.
I do remember we went to see. Well, I think we went to see Cars 2 and it sucked. But we also went to see Cars 3 and I actually liked it.
I didn't see it.
I actually really like Cars 3.
Yeah, Cars.
Maybe it's just because I come from. You know where I come from, Rockingham.
Yeah.
Right dude knows this.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's an old NASCAR track here. They used to hold NASCAR races.
Yes.
And I remember when they still did that. And so, I connected with Cars 3, especially on that level, because it honored the past of racing in all these old tracks that are kind of left behind and forgotten, as NASCAR got really big, they just kind of left, and a lot of the smaller tracks like Rockingham, even though they were some of the first places they raced, just got, tossed aside because of money. So, I kind of, even though I'm not a huge fan of NASCAR, I'm not a big fan of NASCAR anymore. I never followed it anymore.
Neither am I.
But I know how much the track meant to people around here, how much it still means to people around here.
Mm-hmm.
Dear God, every year they're hoping against hope that to bring something back, kind of racing back to the track. So,
yeah,
I get what it means to people. So, I kind of really connected with it on that level. So,
yeah.
And plus it seemed to me a great kind of passing the torch movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would say, I have seen Cars 3. I would say it was probably my favorite of the original of 3 Cars movies. I know that's kind of a low bar because the second one sucked and the first one I thought was kind of meh.
I actually really liked the first one. I thought the real first one was funny. It was good. Old Wes made a great Lightning McQueen. Mater was funny. He hadn't yet got annoying yet the way he did in part 2. But
you mean like Insurance Agent? Got a good neighbor. Here is here.
You know what Cars 2 felt like? Cars 2 just felt like an extended episode of one of those Mater Tall Tales spin-off episodes. There's that little show they made.
Exactly. It should. Why was it even called Cars 2? I know we're supposed to be talking about Elemental and we just went off topic, but it's like it's Mater's story. It should have been, maybe call it Mater's Adventure. At least that would have made sense. But it's like, yeah, he was annoying in that.
You know what I think though? If it's what Pixar really needs to survive financially, I say go ahead and make Toy Story 5. If it means that the company can survive to potentially give us more original classics in the future, do what you need to.
What are they gonna do? Have Bonnie ignore Buzz next?
I'm already pissed off that Woody's coming back anyway, but that's a subject for another time.
Well, we have until that movie comes out to roast that. Does anyone else have anything else to say about Elemental?
It's fine. Just wait for Disney Plus.
Okay.
Go see it in the theaters.
Yeah,
Get it to $1 billion.
Okay.
$1 billion.
No,
it's not going to get that, but I do think
no. Okay.
Yeah,
It
may have some of the weaknesses of some of the other recent Pixar films, but I think overall it's one of the better of the more recent Pixar films.
Yeah.
Definitely
My final.
Oh
shit.
Sorry, go
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, my final word, go see Elemental in theaters. Get it to $1 billion. # billion for Elemental.
Not going to happen.
Good luck with that. That's all I got to say. Good luck with that.
Yep.
All right, so are we ready to talk about the next movie?
Yes, we are.
All right, then.
Oh, speaking of which, before I dip out, should I announce something?
I'm gonna put you back. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you backstage. You don't have to go anywhere. I'll put you backstage, and then once we're done talking about it, when we're about to the next movie, I'll bring you back.
All right.
That sound good?
Circle of
So
Yeet.
you don't need to leave the stream. I'll just put you backstage, and then I'll bring you back when we're about to announce the next movie. All right. So, and okay. And because I want an excuse to do this.
No.
God,
right.
I'll never get old.
I know. Yeet!
Yeet!
All right, so let me change some things. Okay. Let me change some things. Wes Anderson said, and then let me get All right, there we go. Oh shit. You know what? While I'm giving my rating, or while I'm getting my review for this one, everyone in the private chat just put your rating for this movie.
Right.
Everybody put in the private chat put your rating so that I could fill it in later. No.
Just kidding, I'll do it.
All right. I'm going to change mine for now. I'm sorry. I completely forgot about it. All right. Okay. Oh, fuck.
The circle of Yeet.
Circle of Yeet.
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 What was it again? Oh, okay.
Jack used to always say that.
Hold on. This is what happens when you're doing a double feature and having to put change the rating for everyone. Okay. And okay, Ben, put your rating in the private chat.
Now for a few words from our sponsor.
Did you? I don't see it.
In the private chat. Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. So while you're doing that, I'll go ahead and just give my review as soon as I pull up mine. Sorry, I know that this is kind of unprofessional, but then again,
you're fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. All right then. Okay, so Wes Anderson's Asteroid City.
Okay, I get it now.
Okay, all right. Go and mute. All right, I'm gonna mute Ben for now. There we go. All right, so let me go ahead and get my rating or my review. All right, so Wes Anderson's Asteroid City. When I first saw the trailer for this movie, I was very intrigued by it and just thought it looked very interesting. However, at the time, I had only seen 3 of his films and wanted to catch up on his other works before seeing his new film, which I did recently, and now I have become a fan of his work. Every Wes Anderson film, in my opinion, it ranges from good, not great, but still good, to amazing. So, in my opinion, so far, there really hasn't been, there's no such thing as a bad Wes Anderson film, and let's just hope that day never comes. He has a very interesting way of shooting his films with a style and unique way of telling a story. After seeing his films, I was even more excited for this film. And after seeing it myself, I could say that it was very good. Not great, nor his best work, but still very good. The acting is solid from everyone, even though Wes Anderson uses similar actors that were used in some of his previous movies, like Jason Schwartzman, Willem Dafoe, Edward Norton, Adrian Brody, Jeff Goldblum, and Tilda Swinton. They give great performances with their role. The film is visually pleasing with the whole 50s aesthetic look mixed with the whole place setting, and I'll have more to say about the play scenes later. Say what you want about Wes Anderson, but he makes sure that his visuals are A+ material. I especially like how the stop motion animation on the alien and the spaceship, and you could tell, like with his movies, that Wes Anderson will prefer using stop motion effects in his films as opposed to CGI, and I applaud him for that, especially since stop motion is a very underrated animation media that doesn't get a lot of attention, which is very sad. Speaking of Wes Anderson's unique style, the cinematography and camera work are excellent. Yes, everyone has made fun of him since all of his films are shot perfectly symmetrical. And and the fact that he uses like over visuals. Let me see if I could play the clip. This is pretty. We've all made fun of him for doing this.
The colors, Duke! The colors!
I'm colorblind, kid.
As well as this.
Symmetry! It's so invigorating. Oh, sun. Oh, clouds. I love you.
Let me pull up. But yeah, even though we have made fun of him for that, but he does give but it still looks very impressive for me. It still looks very impressive. And he can give other great shots too. It wasn't just the symmetry and the over the top visuals. He does give some great shots too, like a top-down view shot or long panning shots from left to right, sometimes back and forth, tracking shots. The film also has a lot of funny moments. I was laughing at the jokes, especially the one where the narrator is just standing in a scene where he wasn't supposed to be. I thought that was really funny. The dialogue is very clever, and even the musical score. It is well composed to give that kind of upbeat, cheerful moment, and even some of the characters I found to be pretty unique. If I had any problems, I would say that the pacing did kind of drag at moments. I mean, it wasn't bad, but I felt like the flow it could have been smoothed out a little bit more, especially during the play scenes. While I understand what Wes Anderson was trying to do with the intermission moments and the play scenes with the directors and actors working on the play, giving it like a story within a story kind of scenario, it does feel kind of unnecessary. You could have cut them out and nothing would have changed, and it just felt more like padding than anything, just to fill in that 90-minute runtime kind of thing. But it just felt kind of out of place. But despite my issues, though, I still really enjoyed this movie. If you're a Wes Anderson fan, I would say this is worth checking out. But even if you're not familiar with this work, I would still say give it a shot. However, I will say that if you are not a fan of Wes Anderson's style, like of his movies or anything, this probably is not going to win you over. I wouldn't say it was my favorite Wes Anderson film. That would still be The Grand Budapest Hotel. But I really enjoyed myself while watching this movie. And my rating is an 8 out of 10. All right, Ben? You want to go next?
I would like to say that I myself. I would like to say that I myself.
Can you say that again?
Was I supposed to go next?
Yeah, you're next. Go on.
Yeah. I would like to say that. Yeah. Okay. I would like to say that I myself am a fan of Wes Anderson. I love all of his styles. I love his work. I love the actors he uses and the performances they use. But for this for this movie, he uses them all really well. And I love how they make it a story within a story, like using the play by making it a play.
Yeah.
But on that note, the pacing can get a little slow at times, and there are some scenes that can be unnecessary. But that doesn't make it a bad movie. It's still a good movie, checking out. Because it's colorful, it's shot well, the acting is solid. I say check it out. I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay. Devin?
So I wouldn't call myself like a Wes Anderson like aficionado or expert, because I haven't seen every one of his movies. In fact, as I'm saying this, I think I've seen only like 6 or 7 of his films. And from what I've seen, I think he's a super talented director and filmmaker, and I really like his style. The trailers for this movie looked super interesting, so I was looking forward to this movie. And after seeing it, I really enjoyed it. But I can't say I love it, or it's one of his best movies that I've seen. Acting from everyone is great as always. Wes always picks amazing actors to be in his movies, and their talents are always showcased. Everyone puts in 100%. It's very, very well written. I've always liked Wes's dialogue in the movies I've seen from him, and this movie's no exception. It's clever, witty, and hilarious. Speaking of which, wow, this movie is funny as hell. I was laughing so much at the dialogue and the background humor. One of my favorite bits is when Dinah says about her mom, "I'm sick of her face, but I love her voice." Like that was hilarious. And I also love when the narrator, played by Bryan Cranston, shows up at the wrong part of the story and says, "Am I supposed to be here?" Oh, okay. I'll just shoot myself out. Like that was great. And the deadpan's deliveries are what sell it. I love the 50s aesthetic of the film. And finally, like with all of Wes Anderson's movies, this looks great. He gets a lot of great shots, especially with his trademark symmetrical shots. When it comes to why I didn't love this movie, the pacing in this movie was not great. It was way too slow and it dragged a lot in spots. The play scenes play a part, no pun intended, with the slow pacing in the movie. They interrupted the flow of the narrative, just grinds the plot to a complete halt, and overall they were just unnecessary. You could have cut them out completely and nothing would have changed. While yes, the actors do an amazing job because Wes always gets amazing performances out of his actors, they weren't super fascinating. Yeah, they were entertaining, but they weren't as great as the characters from Royal Tenenbaums, Fantastic Mr. Fox, or Grand Budapest Hotel. Lastly, this one might be a nitpick, but there was a song that kept playing over and over again in this movie. It's that on the piano, like when they first see the alien that comes up in other scenes. Like it kept playing over and over again, and it started to get on my nerves. It reminded me of the from Babylon or the from Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'm like, oh my god, just enough. This is starting to get old. Please stop. But overall, despite my issues, I still had a good time with this movie. The acting, humor, and gorgeous set design are enough for me to recommend this. It's not my favorite Wes Anderson movie because that'll always be Fantastic Mr. Fox, but I'd say check this out, and I give it a 7 out of 10.
You ready, Mark?
And then there was one. My review is very long, so buckle in. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Okay, this was the 6th film in my Wes Anderson marathon, and I first started getting into Wes Anderson to prepare for reviewing this film. And for that, I will remain forever grateful, as I now have a brand new director to add to my long list of favorites. I quickly fell in love with the style of this well-regarded auteur, and I look forward to seeing this film. However, the outstanding films of his I saw before this one may have set too high of a bar, because while I thoroughly enjoyed this new film, I did have a few issues that are normally absent from his filmography. The film begins with a typical Wes Anderson staple, namely a framing device, a television documentary set in 1955 about a legendary American playwright, Conrad Earp, played by Edward Norton, with a host the narrator, played by Bryan Cranston. This narrator emphasizes that Asteroid City is a work of fiction, a play, thus setting up the play within a play structure of the film. Title cards announce acts and scenes, and at various points, the action cuts backstage to the actors playing their parts. Jason Schwartzman, for example, plays Jones Hall in the backstage scenes, and Augie Steenbeck in the play within a play. He's literally the dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. If that sounds like madness, that's Wes, baby. The time period of this piece is no accident. A post-war era of transition full of bright hopes for the future on the one hand and dark fears on the other, a point made ominously in the film with nuclear test explosions. This duality mirrors the inner conflict of the film's characters and sets up the primary narrative as the unexpected alien visitor disrupts the lives of the young stargazers, space cadets, and their parents and guardians who have descended on the little town of Asteroid City in the middle of the desert. Wes expertly uses this narrative to explore such themes as death, love, the mysteries of the cosmos, and the meaning of life. He emphasizes that there are no easy, concrete answers to life by having the play's director, played by Adrian Brody, tell his cast, quite frankly, that he doesn't know the meaning of the play either, and that it doesn't matter. An existentialist answer if there ever was one. The point is not to question why, but just to live, made explicit by the oft-repeated phrase at the end, "You can't wake up if you don't fall asleep." If you know anything about Wes Anderson, you already know that the technical aspects of the film are superb. The gorgeous cinematography is on full display, complete with his trademark symmetry, vibrant colors, etc. The music seamlessly interweaves into the background, helping set the mood without being intrusive. The film definitely switches between 16:9 ratio color and 4:3 black and white shots. The lively colors of the main story, the play, bring to mind the Technicolor films of the 1950s, similar to what the film Pearl did last year. The desert setting serves as the perfect backdrop for the pastel colors in this part of the drama. The 4:3 black and white shots, meanwhile, mimic the look and feel of an old monochromatic TV set from the era, in keeping with the film's use of a television documentary as a framing device. The narrator, Bryan Cranston, even sounds like his voice is coming from one of the old microphones, cracked and distant. Truly, this film, like all of his films, is a marvel to behold, an aesthetic feast for the senses. Of course, we find other Wes Anderson traits present as well, including a cavalcade of stars, outstanding performances, quirky humor, deadpan delivery, smart, punchy dialogue, thought-provoking themes, and a genuinely heartwarming message. Jason Schwartzman and Scarlett Johansson share the MVP honors for their terrific portrayal of war photographer Augie Steenbeck and actress Midge Campbell, respectively, two broken people who find solace and comfort in one another in this small desert town. Among the many subplots told with this ensemble cast, theirs manages to stand tall above the rest. The humor is some of the funniest I've seen in his films, including the memorable scene involving the stop-motion animated alien. How this man manages to switch so easily between poignant scenes evoking deep sadness and hilarious ones will never cease to amaze me. For example, early in the film, we see Augie call his curmudgeonly father-in-law Stanley, played by Tom Hanks, who grills him why he hasn't told the kids of their mother's death yet. When Augie moans, "The time is never right," Stanley retorts, "The time is always wrong." Next, the film shifts to an ironically hilarious scene as Augie explains the mother's death to his kids. Scenes such as this testify to Wes Anderson's brilliance as writer and director. The main issue, however, comes with the heavy-handed use of the framing devices itself. Wes integrates this particular framing device into the narrative perhaps more than in any other film, even The French Dispatch. It works very well in many ways, such as the scene where Jones Hall takes a break from playing Augie in the middle of the play and walks backstage to talk to the actress who plays his wife, Margot Robbie, in the cameo, about how to depict Augie's grief. It's a very tender and intimate moment, one of the best of the film, and it damn near brought a tear to my eye. However, the backstage scenes can often feel intrusive. They break up the narrative, interrupt the flow of the film, which takes a while establishing itself before it really gets going already anyway. Even veterans of Wes Anderson films may feel somewhat disoriented, put off, so if you're not a fan of his, don't bother. This is Wes Anderson at his most Wes Anderson. Consider yourself warned. Fortunately for me, however, I have become a big Wes Anderson fan, so the film works very well for me personally. The more I think about it, in fact, the more I like it. It became true as I was actually writing this review, actually. It could feel a bit heavy-handed and on the nose at times, but it never loses its sincerity or earnestness. It's brilliantly structured and expertly crafted by all involved. This feels like a film I will love more on rewatch. It's definitely thought-provoking, and I had to think long and hard about the film before I could write this review. It literally took me like 2 or 3 days thinking about it. And those are the best kind of films to me. It seems like I will catch a lot more the second time than I missed the first. Like I said, I went back and forth big time on this on 4 or 5 on either 4 or 4.5 stars, but I decided to split the difference and give it an 8.5. And that will likely go up in the future because the more I think about it, the more I really like this film. And that's my review.
I do love how they had Jeff Goldblum play the alien.
Oh God, that was hilarious! Dear God, that was so funny. I was laughing out loud the damn theater. he
Takes
comes,
me to
takes the
honor
damn
your leader.
He comes, takes the damn meteorite, leaves and just goes, and then he comes back and just drops the shit.
No, what I love is he's getting ready to take it. He's getting ready to take the picture. He's like, he just poses with it. Like, that was gold.
That really was. You know who else was funny was, oh my God, the guy who played the general, Jeffrey Wright. Jeffrey Wright. God, he was funny. Oh my God. The way when he was giving the speech, the way they kept putting in new microphones, he kept stepping in front to the next one. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the humor in this movie was very subtle. I would give it that.
I love how the kids pray for like some of the most mundane things.
Yes.
Wait, Patrick,
one of the most wild, most obscure names. They're playing the name game. Oh man, jeez. Yeah, it was very good. I really love the relationship though between Augie and Midge, Jason Schwartzman and Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah,
it was very well done. It kind of paralleled the themes really. That whole idea of that sense of melancholy, but you know, and that sense of loss because they both seem kind of really lost souls, really, you know, and they really just kind of find comfort in each other. But that kind of fit with the message, I think, of, you know, to me, the whole thing about, and people have been debating this, what does it really mean? You can't wake up if you don't fall asleep. To me, that means in life, sometimes you have to take a risk. Because, you know, if you listen to the song lyrics of the song, it says you can't wake up if you don't fall asleep. You can't fall in love and land on your feet. So, I mean, it's kind of like saying to them, you know, you can't fall in love if you know, you got to take the risk of getting hurt.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So Ben, what would you say was because I know you said that Wes Anderson is one of your favorite directors. Like, what would be able to stand out?
What would able to be stand out?
What would stand out for Wes Anderson that would declare him like one of your favorites, one of your favorite directors of all time?
Just his style, his use of symmetry, his transitioning, his layouts.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I can honestly
his all-star cast.
Yeah, I will say that after watching all of his movies, I can definitely see why he is one of your favorites. I can definitely see it. So, and I mean, I appreciate for making us fans now of his work. You know.
Yeah, I definitely have to watch. The rest of his rest of his stuff.
I didn't even know Bottle Rocket. I didn't even know that was like that. That's like his first movie that he made, but it was based on a short story he'd made like few years before that. It's like Bottle Rocket
somewhere.
Exactly, because that movie came out in 1996, and the short film came out in 1992. I didn't even know that until after I saw Bottle Rocket, and I just found it. I just looked it up, and I was like, wait, it was based on short. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
When you said your favorite is still The Life Aquatic, right?
Ben.
The Aquatic Life of Steve Zissou.
Yeah, The Life Aquatic of Steve Zissou. Yeah, that's a very good one.
Probably.
That is a very good one. Yeah, that is a very good one.
Yeah, that's a very, very good
probably.
One.
Yeah, I think I still say my favorite is still Grand Budapest Hotel. But I mean, Fantastic Mr. Fox is great. Isle of Dogs is great.
Fantastic Mr. Fox is some of the greatest, best stop motion I have ever seen.
Yeah.
And it has and my God, the dialogue in that movie is great. What do you do? Demolitions expert. What? Since when? He's different.
And And Devin, let's not forget your favorite scene.
That's gonna be Mark after we talk about the for the next movie we talk about.
The next movie, we'll
save that to the end.
We'll wait until the end.
Down. Don't mention that shit to me. Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. I don't even like me when I'm angry.
Fair.
So Devin, you say you might check out Wes Anderson's other films or sometime in the future?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean next week I'm going to focus on binging Mission Impossible.
Oh yeah, that's right. Try
watching more 1001 movies this week.
I'm way behind on the 1001, but then again there will be days where I'm just too lazy to, But yeah, but I know Ben and I, for some reason, when we went to go see Asteroid City, it was originally there were originally times at our AMC theaters, and for some reason our tickets got canceled because our theaters pulled them out. So we had to go to like our local art house theater to go see it.
If there is any plus side on that, we got to ignore the Nicole Kidman intro.
Yeah. That's true. Ben, which would you prefer, the Nicole Kidman intro or the Regal intro?
The Regal intro. Because at least that isn't engraved into my skull.
Neither.
They're both equally bad, but I think I probably had to endure the Nicole Kidman ad way longer than the Regal one.
They used to not do that shit. They had, you had a simple little thing, such and such cinemas will come up. That's it. That's all you have fucking had. Then I have a whole fucking annoying ass ad playing.
It should just be, grab a drink, grab popcorn, enjoy the movie.
Exactly.
Thank you for stopping by. We can't wait to see you again.
To listen to ding, 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 ding.
Oh yeah,
this place is nicer than my apartment.
Let's all go to the lobby over that any day. At least it's catchy.
Ben, remember when you and I went to go see Across the Spider-Verse while we were on vacation? We went to a Regal, and they played the Regal ad before the trailers.
Yes.
Because the weird thing is that after we got our tickets, I went to go wait in line to get myself a drink, and Ben went to go have a seat. And then when I got back, they were playing the Trolls trailer, which, but when I sat down, Ben was like, "You missed it! You missed the Regal ad."
This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Good. Oh,
yeah.
I hate that ad.
Fuck that ad.
Seriously.
Regal.
Dear God.
I beg of you, as someone who goes to your theaters all the time, please get rid of it.
Thank you.
Please.
I mean, for the AMC theater, Nicole Kidman, the first time you're like, okay, and then the second time you're like, eh, but then the 50th time you're like,
oh God, make it stop.
Exactly.
Oh, I was gonna say, hey, Zach, it's a good. You want to show something?
Thankfully, I got Roseburg Cinema.
At least you don't have to deal with an annoying intro ad, a cringy promo ad like
oh,
the rest
who
of us
says
do.
I don't?
Regal Unlimited.
Ah, damn it!
Who says I don't have to deal with one? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yes.
I don't.
AMC stuff's A-list. Fuck.
I finally found my card so I can be in on the joke.
Just watch your theater get a cringy ad. I'm gonna laugh when that happens.
And I'm just
dude, here's the thing, right? Because here's the thing, right? I remember when me and Sarah in 2021 saw Venom, Let There Be Garbage, and Halloween Kills back to back in AMC, so we had to deal with the Nicole Kidman ad back to back twice.
Hey, Ben and I had to do that for both Elemental and The Flash.
Just walk out.
I'm too lazy. Plus, why should I leave for an hour to avoid a stupid ad? What for a minute to avoid a stupid ad?
Why wouldn't you?
I mean, the damage is already done. It's engraved in my skull.
I mean,
That's
it's
why
just,
I used to go to the bathroom.
but it shouldn't take you a whole minute to use. All right.
Yeah, not a good ad at all. Here's the thing. I've only seen it twice, right? And I already feel you guys' pain.
Well, I mean, they're both insufferable for different
They're
reasons.
both equally bad. It's like
Because I mean,
it's
but
like-
just for different reasons though. Because I mean, like the Nicole Kidman ad is just insufferably smug. I mean, it just really grates your nerves after a while.
Pretentious.
I mean, pretentious, smug. Whereas the Regal ad is just
choosing between both cringy promo ads is like saying, which poison would you rather take to kill you?
Exactly. Pick your poison.
Exactly.
That's why I got to go to Roseburg Cinema. Yeah, I finally found my card so I can be in on the joke.
Awesome.
Give us a
But yeah.
sponsorship, god damn it, we're cool.
Yeah. I know, right? Well, anyway, do we have anything else to say about like Asteroid City or something? Or we? Yeah, go see
You
it.
have me intrigued with the Jeff Goldblum cameo. Like seriously, like I was laughing my ass off just hearing it, just hearing you describe it.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I would say, Zach, if you're ever able to, I would say go check it out because I'm really curious what you have to say about it. Are you a big Wes Anderson fan or something?
I've heard of his work, but the only one that I know of that I've seen that I know was from him was Fantastic Mr. Fox. So.
Oh yeah.
But I know that he has his visual flair and style, like you guys are talking about. So
Yeah.
I'm interested in checking out his work, and I'll check this one out. It looks, because I watched the trailer while you guys were discussing it, and it looks pretty good.
I wouldn't
yeah.
start with this one. I mean, I wouldn't start with this because this is very Wes
Oh, I know. Yeah, I'll watch his other stuff first. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that a lot of his work is actually on HBO. I'm sorry, Max.
Max.
I'm never gonna be able to get used to that shit. I've been calling it HBO Max for so long. Yeah, Max.
Prime has some. I think
Prime has Moonrise Kingdom.
Prime has Moonrise Kingdom and Bottle Rocket. I think.
I know Max also has
Bottle Rocket. Has Max. Bottle Rocket has Max.
Yeah, because that's how I watched it.
Yeah, and Isle of Dogs is on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Start with the animated stuff. That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good start.
Oh yeah, that is a good start.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, are we ready to announce the next movie that's going to be?
Can I do it?
Go ahead.
Our next movie. Get ready for this. I am pleased to announce that I will be hosting the next review, which will be Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Yay!
Be afraid.
Hopefully, actually, yay, because
I am not looking forward to this shit.
hopefully, yay, because I'm going into the movie optimistic, but only barely so. So that'll be fun. When are we doing that, by the way? What day?
Saturday.
I was gonna say, do you want to do it? Are you available Saturday?
I should be. At most
Okay.
Sunday, in case I'm not able to see it opening day.
Okay. I mean, if it's gonna be
Yeah.
Sunday, then unfortunately I'm not gonna be able to make it because I'm working. But if it is like Saturday, then I should be available. So
But I
yeah.
will be able to see it at a discount thanks to Roseburg Cinema.
Good thing I'm seeing it
I
for
like
free.
Yeah, I'm seeing it for free too.
Yep.
I guess I'm just going to go to the dollar theater.
Yeah, but yeah, on some real shit though, I hope this movie's good. I hope to God it's good because it's Indiana Jones. Like those original three are some of the greatest films ever made. So please don't fuck this up, Lucasfilm. That's what I'll end it. That's what I'll end it on.
No, they won't. Come on.
No, they won't. Well, yes, as Zach said, stay tuned for our next review, which will be Dial of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Dial.
And if I end up not liking this movie, I am going to have. Oh shit.
That makes me a sad panda.
Dial
Right.
G for geriatrics.
Dial G for geriatrics. All right. So until then,
Yep.
let me get it ready. All right, take it easy, guys. See you next time.
Go see these two movies.